And I think for me that was the major thing, that there was just something missing inside me. And when I discovered drugs and alcohol, pot, beer in the beginning, later was a chronic pot smoker, and then that became problematic when I became a newspaper reporter, because the copy desk would call late at night and ask me math questions about my stories. And if you've just baked up on a good tie stick, you don't want to talk to the copy desk. So, I went pretty much to alcohol. But what alcohol and drugs did for me is actually made me feel normal. It actually made me feel a foot taller, a little smarter, felt connected to people, to the world, and I could dance, And I worked that thing, through those stages. It was a lot of fun, had a lot of good times. Then some trouble began to leak in, and then there became a lot of trouble. And every time I tried to quit, and this is another myth, why do we keep using, when we're using or drinking, is that when we stop, we become so restless and irritable and discontent with life as it is, it's just better to get high. See, in my experience and the experience of many others, we don't have a drug and alcohol is not the addict's problem. It's the lack of drugs and alcohol that are the addict's problems. It's when you take it away what life becomes. And this house episode does such a good example of illustrating that. I mean, he begins to become unnerved. Even in just those clips, we see that. So the treatment and the recovery, and for me, I bottomed out. I never lost a job, although I rescued my job a lot of times by performing miracles after, near disasters. I never lost my family, but I had a couple of, well, I don't even want to get into those details. But I never crashed a car, I never got a DUI. I crashed an airplane. But the bottom for me I became something I didn't even recognize anymore in the pursuit of getting the substances I needed just to feel normal. The lying, the cheating, all the things that I had to do. And so I reached a state of incomprehensible demoralization. I felt like I was living a lie while busting people as a newspaper reporter for lying and cheating, and had a whole double life going. So it was an emotional bottom for me. And then when I got into recovery, the big wake-up call was that there were other people like me, and that support group that came into play, and the steps of that support group, and the personality change that being in recovery. I mean, to recover from this disease, you have to change everything. The way you look at things, the way you react to things, the ability to live life on life's terms. And I think a big part of it also, too, is service, going into service and helping others. I got a stop sign there, so I'm gonna have to stop. And that is what gave me the sense of completeness, the recovery experience that I was always looking for in the drugs and alcohol.